Hello, everybody, and welcome to Asea 5. This is the 9th of December, 2022. We have a great Asea 5 webcast scheduled for you tonight. We have the development team, the support team from Asea Global for the cell performance line. So we're going to have a lively and active discussion tonight talking about the cell performance, mood, mind, and energy tonight. We have myself, Dr. Lee Osler from the state of Washington in the United States. And with us, we have Jim and Ann Glenn, other co-hosts who just returned from Park City, Utah, the snow capital of Utah, and they're back in San Antonio, so welcome. Jim is, we call him our money guy, and Ann is our nutritionist expert. We're excusing Maureen, who is with us in spirit tonight, but she is in London, England, doing some touring and Christmasing over there. We have with us tonight three of the top folks at Asea who are involved in the development of cell performance, and that is Henry Lopez. If you'll wave to us, everybody can see you. Hi, Henry. And we have Dr. Andrea Borges, who is the PhD supervision there in Asea, who's guiding this development. And Becca Lewis, who is newly with Asea in charge of research and development laboratory operations. And so why don't we start off tonight just talking about Asea in general. Let's kind of make an overview, comment maybe from all three of you, Henry, Becca, and Andrea. You could just tell us what Asea is, what it's doing in the marketplace, and then we'll go back around the horn and dive into cell performance specifically. So, Henry, could you kick us off? Give us a little background about you, why you're there, and what you see this is in terms of big picture.
No, yeah, for sure. So I started here about 6.5 years ago. I've been very grateful to be able to experience all the progress that we have made as a company. I don't know if any of you guys have toured the facility, but you'll notice that our facility contains the manufacturing and R&D and production as well in the same site. So it's really great to be able to be in a place that is so heavily invested in the science and then be able to implement that immediately in a manufacturing scale. So we're always able to be able to test our experiments and keep expanding our science, right? Asea, to me, to be honest, in the beginning, I was a little confused as what redox. I mean, I've had chemistry classes, but then someone told me once there's redox in this bottle. And to me, learning from chemistry or OChem, all those things, I was like, well, yeah, I know what redox is, but I was very stubborn to know what this product was, to be actually completely honest. And as soon as I got to manufacture the product and I got to see all the testimonials that people would, when I got the opportunity to talk with them, I think that was my aha moment when I saw that you could make a difference working here. And that's what I'm here for. Yeah. So sorry, I can't hear you, Doctor.
Becca, let's go.
You're muted, Lee. There you
go. So I have been with Asea since June of 2021. So I've reached my year mark this last June. I'm really excited to be with Asea and to be here with all of you. The reason why I'm with Asea is because I really believe in this product. To be completely honest, when I first started at Asea, I was like, there's no way this product does everything people are saying it does. And then as I worked with it more and I helped with the manufacturing and the research and continue reading and gaining more knowledge, I have fallen in love with this product. It really is amazing. And it's something I very much stand by. So, and I even take it myself and I've seen wonderful results.
Good, thank you. We'll come back to that.
Yeah.
Dr. Andrea, tell us kind of your place there, what you see Asea as the big picture.
Asea, yes. Just a background, I started with Asea 3 years ago, just before COVID hit here in the US. So it was in March 2020. And I started regulatory. As Henry and Becca, when I first started, I saw the description of the product and I was like, okay. this is science, so let's see what's going to happen. And right after regulatory, I was called to be part of the R&D team as a scientist officially. And then I started, okay, now that I'm in the science part of Asea, I want to test the product and I want to see what it really does. And I was really astonished when I saw the results and very, very amazed with the results that the science brought and is still bringing for us. And with all the testimonials, last year I had the opportunity to go to my first convention. And when I heard the testimonials and the stories that all these wonderful people told me, I was also really amazed. And what I see with Asea is a brilliant future with the Asea water, the Redox signaling water, and with all of the other products. And I can tell you and everyone that is listening now that it's very, very backed by science. I have never worked in a company that was so much worried about proving that the benefits of each product and each ingredient. So I trust in these products 100%.
Awesome.
And I take them. I take all of them, especially energy and mind.
Awesome. Do you do that at the front of the day? The energy and mind?
Can I tell you later? Because we're going to talk about it.
Sure. Tell us later.
Awesome.
All right.
So real quick, guys. So I will be talking about cell performance and like what Andrea said, she is over our global science. So you guys get a special treat and she's going to show you what we are kind of working on as a global science team. And we're also going to kind of release some cool information about the cell performance and we just received some results from it. So that's going to benefit the athletes.
That'll be all surprise.
So,
A lot of surprises tonight.
Yeah.
So what you're saying, Henry, is that you're going to give us the scoop tonight.
We get the
Yes.
sneak peek.
Yes,
Okay.
we are.
Well, then
Wow.
we're going to turn it over to you and let you give us that scoop. Go ahead.
Yeah. No, absolutely. So let's go ahead and let me share my screen here.
Yes.
Let me share that. Okay, so we can all see the cell performance screen.
Yes.
Yes.
And the weight
So,
loss.
one of the questions I've been getting a lot is about individuals seeing a decrease in weight. Even Scott, our president, I asked him the other day, I was like, hey, that shirt's really, really looking good on you. And he says, well, I was like, what are you doing lately? He's like, nothing much. I mean, all I started doing is same routine, my energy and mind in the morning. And then he notices that he's not as hungry throughout the day. His appetite is a little bit lower and his mood is a lot better. So stress is a little bit lower. So I really wanted to talk about this today because as this product line was not made for weight loss or anything like that, but it will be an indirect result that may come from this. I just want to make sure we are aware of that. But let's go ahead and talk about that.
Wonderful.
Yeah. And before we get into that though, I wanted to first talk about the basically the foundation of how you even lose weight or what it is, like the energy and how you approach it, right? So we want to start with energy balance inside your diet, right? So energy balance is basically the energy intake and the energy expenditure, right? So for example, if you consume more calories than you use, you gain weight. But if you consume less calories than you use, you lose weight, right? That's like one of the golden rules of any diet, right? They're whatever you do, this is actually going to be then one of the number one rules you will use. And then when we talk about energy, you want to talk about total daily energy expenditure. Now, this is the sum usually of your basal metabolic rate, which is the number of calories that your body uses for basic bodily function. So even if I'm on the couch and I'm not doing anything, I'm still using calories to be alive. That's basically your basal metabolic rate, right? Then you have your thermic effect of food, which is about 10% of the calories you consume is used to digest and absorb your food. And then you have your exercise activity and non-exercise activity. Typically a good recommendation is about, if you want to lose about half to a pound a week, you usually want to decrease 100 calories per day. So this is where I want to talk about the calorie part, right? As I said, keys to weight loss. We want to increase the amount of calories burned. Well, in Redox Energy, you're going to find that you're going to have a sustained energy level, and you're going to be more active for a longer period of time, right? So what does this mean? This means that you're going to be able to burn more calories because you're more active. That goes back to that key of losing weight. And there's also ingredients in this products that will help support the production of energy from like your carbs, your fats, your proteins like acetyl L-carnitine, guarana, green coffee bean extract. These will actually help produce the energy that is needed. And then here's the other part of it as well. I talked about the mood product. Some individuals will say, well, how can mood help you lose weight? Well, one of them is that Redox Mood will help you get. That's one of the cool testimonials I've been hearing about this product for a while, is individuals getting better sleep. Now, the problem is that if you are sleep deprived, you tend to have higher ghrelin levels. So ghrelin is actually a hormone that will increase your appetite. So when you're not sleeping well, you actually will end up being hungrier because you have more of this hormone. So it's very essential that you get a good night rest to have these levels lower. And another thing about this is that you want to decrease your cortisol levels, because elevated cortisol levels will cause cravings, like you'll crave sweets, fatty, and salty foods. I had a fun experience over the summer where I went to a demolition derby, and everyone there was so excited, but I get really nervous about these things, and everyone was laughing and stuff. And I saw the first car hit another car right in front of me. The dirt went on my face, and I turned to my mother-in-law and I grabbed her popcorn and I just ate all the food that I could. And I was like, okay, this is too much for me. I need to get some salty foods, and I just crave when I get my, and this is why, because of your cortisol levels will increase as well, right? So this is what I call my nervous eating or my anxious eating. So you want to keep those levels lower, or you will crave more foods. So here's the benefits on the Redox Energy that I was talking about, is the acetyl L-carnitine. So L-carnitine is one of the key nutrients, that is used to create energy in your mitochondria. Usually its role is to carry the fatty acids and then transport them to the cells so they are used as energy. So this allows your body to burn more fat. You also have guarana and green coffee bean extract in the energy. And this is going to be efficient for you because it's going to help increase your metabolism. And what this means is that a faster metabolism, right, means that your body is going to burn more calories at rest. So that's good for us. Another ingredients in here for the mood that I want to talk about was, remember we talked about sleep quality. So Afron is one of the key ingredients in mood that is actually going to be able to help you sleep better. And there's a really cool study on this. If you ever are bored and are a little nerdy like I am and want to read studies, go ahead and look up Afron and then the sleep study. Just type it in. And then a really cool thing about when you're sleeping, during sleep, there's a hormone called leptin. Leptin levels increase. And then this is what lets your brain know to not trigger those feelings of hunger. So when you are sleep deprived, you will have less of this, so less leptin. So it's going to make you feel hungry. And then the other hormone while you sleep is called ghrelin that I talked about a little bit. So during sleep, your ghrelin levels will decrease. But again, if you are sleep deprived, your levels of ghrelin will be higher. So it's going to make your body feel like it needs more calories. So in a nutshell, get enough sleep. You need it. Now, cortisol. So cortisol is a hormone that's going to affect several things on your body, right? But it mainly is going to help regulate your body's response to stress. It does stimulate your metabolism, so it does create like an increase in energy, but this also means it's going to increase your appetite. So if you have really high elevated cortisol levels, those are going to cause those cravings, like my little demolition derby ordeal I had. And ingredients in there that have been shown to help or may promote the decrease of cortisol levels are found in this product as well, like ashwagandha, the saffron, the rhodiola rosea, and even GABA. So far, I've been just talking and talking. Is there any questions from Jim or Lee or?
Yeah,
Jim had.
yeah, I have with the mood, because a lot of people ask when is the best time to take it, because what you're saying, it might be good to take it during the day.
Yes.
But then also, how long will it last? Do you need to be doing 2 amounts of it, or split it and do some in the afternoon and some right before you go to bed?
Yeah, so it honestly depends upon your stress levels. So you'll know when you're more stressed. Like for me, for example, I usually before, I'm really tired by like 11 or 12 and then have other meetings. So by then I'm a little bit, a little bit more stressed out. So that's when I usually take it. And then I'll take one later on in the 2-3 hours before going to bed. When we did the Kantar studies, which is the kind of like the studies we used for our trials on this product to see how people reacted and stuff. So we noticed that most of them felt the effect for about, I think it was like 4 to 5 hours. So it will last around that amount of time. So I would definitely take at least twice a day if you're pretty stressed out.
Okay. Thank you.
And just to add to Henry's and answer your question, and I take mind and energy in the morning.
Yeah, that's what we do.
First thing in the morning, actually, I don't even take breakfast. I take mind and energy, and with that, I'm not hungry until 11 or 12.
Mm-hmm.
That's wonderful.
I love chocolate, and with energy and mind, I really, for real, I get a chocolate and say, never mind.
Awesome.
All those cravings are gone, and I'm also experiencing a little weight loss, which is good.
That's
And
nice.
sometimes I take mood in the morning. If I have to present something, then of course I don't take energy. So as Harry was saying, depends on whenever you want it.
That's awesome.
That
We do.
effect, actually. And there are people that take energy after lunch.
When they need that extra
And they need
amount.
extra
Yeah,
energy.
that's great. We do in the morning the mix of the two. And I think people who may not care as much for the flavor of energy by itself, if they do the mind with it, it's such a perfect blend of the two flavors. And you don't need more than your 10, 12 ounces of water. I know some people want to mix it with a juice, but they taste so good together. I don't know if anybody else agrees, having them combine.
Yeah, and
It tastes so much better combined. I agree.
It's so good. And I put sparkling water. So it makes kind of a soda.
Oh, yeah. And I've known people who heat it up and it's a very nice, hot like tea. And, it's an herb tea. So it's neat even on a cool day to heat it up.
okay, can you go ahead and address how much water should you mix it in? I remember who was it that said that you guys at the office try to put in the smallest amount of water and chug it real quick.
Scott said that.
Yeah, Scott Aldridge
He said that in the September.
Does it also matter how long should you drink it? Should you drink it within 15 minutes, 30 minutes? Does it matter?
Yeah, so usually it's going to depend upon how much water. I mean, if you like the taste, feel free to use less water. However, if you want it to taste a little bit less, the strength of it, like if it's too strong for you, you can increase it to about, if you want 12 ounces, but we made it to be about 8 to 12 ounces around there of water to dilute it in. Now, for your other question was, Can you repeat that real quick, Jim? Because I kind of cut
Now,
out.
should you drink it within a certain
Certain
period of
period.
time?
Okay.
Does the benefit of the product wear off if it's in there for 2 hours?
You don't want more than that.
Yeah. So the benefit of the product, obviously, you want to reap the best benefits, and that's drink it as like, I think like in 15 to 30 minutes, you should be.
Yeah.
I actually had a funny experience while I was developing these. I gave my wife some of the energy, and she calls me and said, no, not calls me, but I saw her later, and I asked her, how did you feel? And she said, I didn't feel anything. This product does not work for me. And I was like, what? And I asked her, okay, well, how did you take it? So she had been sipping it every 15 minutes throughout the
Oh,
whole.
shoot.
So
Yeah.
this is not a drink you want to sip around and kind of like relax and just like, if you want to get those full effects of the ingredients, you want to take them at least between 15 minutes, 30. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what Scott said last time. He said, just drink it all, 30 minutes, get it done. And then Carolyn Hoffman said, if you let it go past 2 hours, you're losing the antioxidant benefit. So when you're sampling it to somebody in those little sleeves, it's such a great sample. I would get that person to drink it as quick as they can, you know,
Yeah.
the size of glass that's in that picture, so they can get the most benefit and wow, and say, hey, this does work. I know Jim saw it in April when we sampled 15 minutes, and then you
Yeah, it lasted for a long time for
He's
me
like
on the energy.
going
I mean,
great.
it lasted a lot longer than 5 hours for me.
Oh, yeah.
So.
That's awesome.
Now, the other thing I want to ask, and maybe again, if you want to defer, are the benefits of drinking these on a daily basis? Is there a cumulative benefit to the body by making it what we've termed a stackable benefit? Do the benefits get better the longer you stay on these products? And I'm just talking the cell performance.
Right. So that's really interesting question. Actually, I was looking at some studies in particular with the mood. And when I looked at the Afron studies, they actually noticed that they experience better results against anxiety after consuming past 30 days. So there is increased benefit, for example, and a lot of individuals just think the mood is like just when you're stressed, but actually it helps out to keep taking it, right? As it will help out, like you were saying, Jim, kind of like a cumulative theme. Now,
Right.
the only one that I will say that may decrease its effect over a little bit of time is the energy one. You may become a little bit used to it, but what you do is you can just take a break from it for like a week and then come back to it again. Because one of the themes one of the ingredients, the guarana, it does contain caffeine in it a little bit. And there's some individuals that will, I know if you talked to probably or experienced it yourself, will say, well, at first I just needed a cup of coffee and I felt really good. Now I need like 5 cups of coffee. Well, I mean, what happens is that your receptors, that basically your adenosine receptors, oh man, I'm going to geek out here for a little bit. Okay. So
You're talking Lee's language now. Yeah, there goes Lee. Yeah, thumbs up,
Yeah.
Lee.
Yeah, so basically, I'm going to summarize it as not as complex as I can, but simple. So when you take caffeine, you're not creating any more energy, right? It's just all it's doing is it's kind of not allowing certain receptors that it's called adenosine connect to the adenosine receptors, right? By doing this, the caffeine instead connects to it, so the adenosine doesn't connect to this receptor. If this adenosine connects to the receptor, it actually starts making you sleepy. So caffeine actually takes its place. And that's why you don't get tired, because instead of the adenosine connecting to it, the caffeine starts to connect to it. But your body is really smart. After a while, it's going to notice, okay, well, why do I have all these lingering adenosine molecules around? And then it's going to start creating more receptors. So then you need more caffeine to block all those new receptors. So as you can see, your body can kind of adapt to it, to the caffeine. But again, the nice thing about this product is that we don't just focus on the caffeine, right? We focus on other ingredients that will actually work synergistically, like the Alpinia galanga, to increase the effect and kind of have a sustained feeling. So instead of going like right away, it actually goes like this. Like if it was a scale, it goes slower like this, whereas caffeine, it floods the receptors.
Right.
So it actually goes a little bit like this, so you don't feel it as fast. Mm-hmm.
Well, we have a lot of people that don't feel the downfall either with the, I've never experienced that with caffeine, but a lot of people say they have the crash. And you won't get that with this, correct? With energy?
Correct. That was one of the staples that we wanted to make sure people didn't experience.
That's where a lot of folks, though, are used to that rush and they're not getting that with ASEA. But yet, if you do drink it within 15 to 30 minutes, I've not known too many people that did not feel just a boost. I mean, but not a push, not a shove, not a, but a gentle, wow, I just feel, mentally awake.
Exactly.
Well, it's clean and natural, not like you mentioned, where you're going to get a crash or the jitters. So that's why I feel really good about sharing it with people and appreciate all that. When we first got it introduced, the criteria that y'all had when you put it together was pretty amazing. And that's what sets us so apart. And then if you're on redox signaling, the redox signaling is going to make all these ingredients work even better. So they work so beautifully in tandem, which I love. You're going to say something?
Yeah. Can you kind of talk on that? Because, we have 4 categories of products, and Redox is the basis for them all. So by themselves, the facial care, the amazing Via line, and now Cell Performance, they will act on their own if you're not on Redox, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, correct.
But if you're on Redox, will they work better?
So the way I almost see this is that, ASEA, the ARS, the blue bottle, is going to be your foundation for your health, right? If you're feeling good and you're going to be basically primed to receive any other things, you'll be more receptive, right? You'll feel better. So you should get added benefits to that, right? And I know Andrea Borges, I don't know if you want to add to that, but that's the way I've always seen ASEA is if I'm building a house, the ARS is my foundation. That's what I'm building my health upon. And then anything else is added to it to just have basically a boost for certain parts of your health, to excel in certain areas of your life.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's it, basically. That's it. It's like when it's your foundation, and then it's kind of the Cell Performance goes and do like each room in a more beautiful manner.
Awesome.
That's great.
Cool. We're going to go over some more of the.
Yes, that's carried on. Sorry,
we got carried away with questions.
Yeah, so this is where Andrea is going to take over and is going to start and showing you her global research partners of 2022.
Awesome.
Yeah. So when we started R&D, when we decided that we want to start doing more research and deep research with
Andrea.
Yes.
And your microphone is a little bit scratchy. I don't know if you maybe can hold the mic more close to your mouth, or maybe try taking it off.
Because sometimes it's real clear.
Sometimes it's clear, and then sometimes it is not. Give it a shot.
Is it better now?
I think so. Go ahead.
Yeah, keep going.
Okay. So when do you want me to start from the beginning?
We lost your camera. We lost you. You went out in outer space. Oh, you're back. You missed it.
Yeah. All right. Now just keep your partners.
Okay, yes. So we contracted so many scientists and we started working with a lot of them. But with the time, we figured out that we needed something more focused. And some of the scientists decided not to collaborate, not to partner with us. And some of them decided, yes, they want to keep going and move forward. So the ones that are in black are all of our current scientists that we have contact with and we have projects with. You can see that we have basically scientists all over the world. From So there are we have partners everywhere. Basically, tests for ARS, which is the blue bottle, and cosmetics. And now I'm going to show you a little bit which projects we are planning and we are currently working on. So let's start with Consuelo. Consuelo is a very reputable scientist. All of those scientists, they are all scientists that their basic research interest is redox. So redox and skin, redox and aging, different kinds of target, but all related to redox. So Consuelo is from Spain, and her main research interest is in redox related to aging. And she works with this small worm there called C. elegans. And we decided to partner with her, and she's doing a lot of research now, stimulating or culturing C. elegans, the worms, with our Asea Redox signaling supplement. Why did we choose C. elegans, a worm, right? First, because we don't want to go to animal study. And second, because this is one of the organisms that it's been used for a long time for scientists, and it's a model for aging. So we can get, and their genome responds kind of similar to our genome, to stimulus and the response for aging. So that's why we talked to her, and we are currently doing, actually we finished one project and we are about to start another one. So this is one of them. Stephen Murray, he's from Berkeley in California. And he's basically, we partner with him because we want to work with physical activity. We want to test our ARS with sports, endurance, recovery, and we want something more than what we currently have.
Awesome.
Next one is Professor Tillman. He's from Germany. We don't have a project going on with him right now, but we are talking to him. He already did some preliminary studies, and we have some preliminary results. He is going to, our prospective project is that he will delineate the NRF2 pathway, which is a redox pathway by nature. I guess a lot of us already heard about this molecule. So if this molecule is on, it goes from the cytoplasm to the nucleus, and there it will start working with the DNA and production of, at the end of the day, production of proteins and all the things that are really important for the redox pathways, and all of those redox that we are trying to achieve. The redox balance, redox homeostasis that we want ARS to be working on. We can, by doing research, literature review and all this public knowledge that we have available, we know that our water, and we have a theory on how it works. But now we're going to have it for real. We're going to have the pathway and everything very well established. And of course, the endpoint also. So it will stimulate NRF2, and what is the consequence of that? This is what we want to know. That's the most important part, right?
Yeah, I think, Andrea, I think we could have like a whole discussion on NRF2, and I'm sure Dr. Lee Osler would be so excited to just discuss this because it plays such a huge role in our lives. Okay.
Yes. There's a book called Redox, The Only Disease, something like that. And it talks about a lot about NRF2, actually. So,
okay, I can.
very promising.
Yeah, it is.
This scientist, Professor Gerald Minch, he worked with Asea before. Maybe you've heard about him, and then he stopped the collaboration, but we recontacted him and we reestablished contact, and now he's also working with activation on NRF2, but with different versions of ARS. So we're testing ARS, but some kind of modifications on it, so we can have a better overview on the product and what it's really doing. Professor Minch, he is also a very famous scientist, and he's from Australia, and he tests all those different herbs and plants that only Australia has. So he's of course he's also a redox expert. This is a very interesting collaboration. Professor Omar Porras, he's from Chile. He also works with redox. He's an expert on redox, but he tests nutraceutical compounds. So we go, and he has this machinery that I have the picture there, and only Omar Torres and another scientist in the Netherlands, only both of them have this machine. So this machine will mimic the entire digestive system with the enzymes, with all those things. So what we're going to do with them, I mean, only with Omar, not with Netherlands, only with Omar, what we're gonna do with him, we will test ARS in the gastrointestinal cells, and then into this system that mimics our digestive system. So we're gonna have a better overview of what our water, the behavior of the water and the redox molecules through the digestive system. Professor Shara, you for sure heard about her because I talked about the publication during convention. So this was one of the projects that we have with her. She's also a redox expert, but more related to cosmetics, to skincare, skin health. We did this review with her. This project is completed, is done. And we have another current project going on that we're testing now Renew 28 on the skin. And we want to see what Renew 28 is doing with the redox pathway, meaning NRF2. So we're gonna again work with gene activation mediated by NRF2. These are all redox tests. I know it's too scientific, but I'm so excited. I'm sure Lee will also be excited with that.
Yeah, I can't wait. I want to get Lee's opinion on all of this if he can think
And-
straight by now. He's probably, his mind is blowing
Sure,
up
we
right
want
now.
to. Sure, we want to hear that. And for sure, people, all the participants, those participants that also understand a little bit of science, they will know what I'm talking about, and they should be very excited too. We have this Professor Martin Phillips. He's a name in the redox area in the world, and we got a contact. But Professor Tillman and Consuelo, they're also very, very famous. Martin Phillips has even a book, and he worked a lot with redox and COVID during the COVID period and COVID research. We are working with him on another review, and this review will build a concept of the redox regulation in our body. And this will be very important for us because of the theory and the hypothesis that we are trying to build and explain on how Asea supplement works in our body. So this review will pave the way for all of the other science that we want to input in our basically in our water. And consequently, Renew 28 also, because Renew 28 is the same thing as the ARS, but in a gel form. And again, basically, and with Martin, we also have the opportunity to work again with endurance and with exercise, the role that ARS plays on exercise and on athletics.
Thank you, Andrea. That was great. As you could see, we're very active and we're very committed to an ever expanding section of Redox, right?
Yeah, Lee, translate some of that. That just seems overwhelming to me what Asea is doing in advancing ARS in exercise, nutrition, skin, and then Henry, what you guys are doing with cell performance. But Lee, can you wrap your brain around that?
I absolutely can. This is exciting. You know, the Henry talked about redox signaling as the foundation, and really that is where NRF2 comes in. You know, if we look at the other angle to this, we've been really focused on kind of the product here, but if we look at the cell and we ask a different question, it's like, well, how does the cell work? You know, what we're trying to do is to match up the best that we can provide to cooperate with how cells naturally normally work. And that's what I see all this research focusing on. We're looking at exercise. You know, we have a great study that we started with several years ago with Dr. Neiman, who talked about the ability of a slight, mild oxidative stress imposed by Asea to upregulate these pathways that we're now talking about, the NRF2 pathway. And then we're talking about how can we come sideways from what we call a redox active platform rather than a redox signaling per se platform. How can we manipulate these same transcription factors or redox switches with all of these various agents, and how can they work in tandem with each other? You know, to take us back to what Henry was talking about earlier with, for example, redox mind, you've got NMN, nicotinamine adenosine or adenine mononucleotide, doubles up and performs, creates NAD. Well, NAD is the electron carrier in the mitochondria that then shuttles the electrons into the mitochondrial transport chain that then produces these very molecules natively that activate these same pathways. And so we can stack these. You talked about stacking. It's like the synergistic use of all of these agents that come together that affects aging or anti-aging, that affects exercise, that it affects the energy utilization, whether we're drawing on fatty acids or glucose in the cell, all of that's manipulated and stimulated and affected by the synergistic use of all this. So I'm looking forward to seeing how this plays out. Some of it will be collaborative or will be validating from what we already have done, but a lot of this is new stuff, and I'm excited to see it come out.
We're very excited to.
So, Henry and Dr. Andrea, can you share when some of these studies may come out? Or is that not, should I not put you on the spot like that?
We are expecting next year.
Okay.
Hopefully before that. I mean,
Well, I know those take a long time and they're not.
Year, right? Yeah, we have projects that are already running, and we may have some results by middle of next year. Some of them are starting and they are like 2 years. They have a timeline of 2 years. And because most of these projects, because it's science, sometimes they have to be repeated. Sometimes it's not math. That's 1 + 1 = 2.
Right.
So they have a lot of variance, and sometimes it takes more than what we expect.
Right.
Is there any thinking that these studies will be published in the conventional literature, peer reviewed, or is this more internal?
We are still deciding, but all of them, we plan the studies to be published in a peer-reviewed journal. But if we are going to publish, that will depend on Scott and Tyler and what they want to do with the results. But the format and the science and the methods, the technology that we are using, it's all for meant to be published. For example, with Consuelo, we did it's a current project, so we did basic studies with worms, and now we're doing transcriptomics. So that gives us meat enough to publish, and it's the same with all of the other ones.
Wonderful.
Henry, can you, I want to give Becca a chance, but can you please kind of help people that really don't know what we're discussing a lot about, but why this company is not a pharmaceutical? Why can't we go there? Why do we have to be so cautious in not stating anything medical? We can't make any claims. We can't treat, diagnose, or cure. Can you kind of maybe touch on that real quick, please?
Andrea, I heard you almost wanted to say something. Yeah, go ahead.
I was going kind of answer the question, but you can.
For it. Yeah, go for it.
Okay, we're a supplement company, and supplements are not meant to cure or to do any claim that is related to a medical condition.
Right.
And that is a fact with FDA and with all of the other regulatory bodies around the world. Can we go for an OTC, for example, like vitamin C or any other things that we can buy without a prescription? Maybe yes, but for that, we need a lot of time. We need a very heavy and tons of clinical studies. And that would also take a lot of time. And also so much money.
Yeah, and to add to that, Andrea, is, I think if you look at our vision statement of the company is to become a global leader in cellular technology and of redox. If we stay in this field as a supplement, we can do it. We all know when we go and get involved with pharmaceuticals, there is a lot of control, and it will only be limited to certain areas, certain people. So the fact that we can do this as a supplement, we can fulfill that. Basically, you might call it our destiny.
And our vision and our value.
Right.
Um,
But a lot of people get really thrown, why we can't say what we know this stuff does, but we just have to be beyond extra cautious so that we don't fall into the realm of a classification of a drug, which will take it away from everybody.
Exactly. We don't want that.
Okay. Exactly. Go ahead, Henry.
Yeah. So Becca, I know we're limited in time, but I think we should definitely focus on this water test.
I'll go through my slides really fast.
Yeah, you caught my attention with this, Becca, because we work with Rose Monday, she was the head coach of the 2020 USA Women Track and Field team. She's president of USA Track and Field, and we do have potential Olympians on the product. Now, can they now take Cell Performance?
So I am ecstatic to announce that we have had all 3 products in the Cell Performance line tested for water banned substances, and they all passed. So it is officially, now it's official that it is safe for athletic consumption.
I'm sending this to Rose Monday as I speak.
If she wants to see the test results, I can send them to her personally.
Okay, she will. She will.
And Sean Burke will be thrilled, and all these.
Well, the athletes at the highest level, like Olympians, they have to have that.
Yeah.
That's exciting.
Very much.
It is very exciting. And so every new lot that comes out will also have those subsequent lots tested for water as well, just to ensure that the conformity in that water is there as per water regulations. And so these products were tested for over 200 banned substances that WADA lists, and every year WADA is adding new banned substances onto the list. They don't never retract, they only add on. So Asea is going to keep up with this and ensure that our athletes can, keep on taking the supplements and see improved health and athleticism.
Yeah, and Becca, one thing we could point out too, we'll get the questions a lot. Is it WADA certified, or is there a logo that we can use? Would you mind talking about that, Becca?
Yes. So that was a very confusing process, to be honest. So WADA, they are an international agency. They're an independent national agency, but they do not give out any certification. They merely create the list of banned substances and kind of monitor the situation, but they cannot give out any, you pass or fails certification. So with that comes just making sure that you have the test results, or whomever you're getting supplements from has the test results and they have statements. And, they can ensure that athletes can take their product and not be flagged for any banned substances.
Yeah. So this one, so it's the US and Europe as well, which will contain.
WADA is international. So if you just follow the WADA banned substances list, it's fine. US, EU, Asia, anywhere in the world.
Awesome.
And Becca, I think I saw a question about who did the test. Would you mind answering that?
Yes. So it was a company in California called Corva Scientific. And they have the scientists there have extensive knowledge of WADA. They've worked with WADA for years, and they really know their stuff.
That's great.
Yeah, I just got a response back from Rose, and she said, "Awesome."
Good.
Glad so I'm going to have her talk with you, Becca. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Go ahead. Go through your other slides.
Okay, and then I just kind of, if you could, next slide, Henry. So I want to give you an overview of kind of what happens at the Asea production facility and our testing that all of our products go through. So when Asea makes a product, whether it be the water, the cosmetics, the Cell Performance line, a sample is actually pulled and given to our QC lab. And actually on the right here, I almost said left. Got to do the little L's. On the right here, this is our lab currently in the manufacturing building, the quality lab. So a sample is pulled and given to this lab, and it goes through rigorous testing. There are many, many tests that each product is tested for. And after completion, there is a checkoff sheet, and we say whether what the test results are and whether it passed or failed. And then if it passed, it's moved to packaging. If it doesn't pass, it's actually reworked and tested all over again. So after it's passed and sent to packaging, the product is put in its final packaging, and then it's actually sent to QC again for final testing before it even, comes anywhere near the consumer. So Asea has very high quality standards, and we ensure that every step of the process we meet those standards.
Hey, Becca.
Uh-huh.
Could you go back one slide and just really quickly comment on that ORP and the active Redox? I don't want you to get into all of them. We don't have time, but tell everybody what ORP means, why it matters, and what active Redox means.
So ORP is oxidative reductive potential, and it's an indicator as to the redox molecules, or one of the indicators as to the redox molecules in the product. So we have a minimum standard that our products need to meet every time for us to be able to sell that product and guarantee, yes, this is a redox product.
And then to add on that too, Becca, so go ahead, Andrea. We're so excited.
We're all so excited.
It's also tested by two third-party labs.
Mm-hmm.
Great.
Yeah.
So we do our internal testing, and then we have other labs confirm our results as well. So again, very vigorous testing. Asea has very high standards.
That's great.
So I talk about all this testing, and you're like, oh, okay. I put the IC system on the previous page, and most people won't know what an IC system is, and it's an ion chromatography system, which is a kind of bluish greenish picture in the top right corner. So we'll start with that one because it's probably one of the most confusing. So this is a machine that measures the concentrations of ionic species. And what it does is so molecules the products will go into the machine, and there are different ionic species, whether negative or positive. And depending on what we're looking for, we're pulling either the positive one or the negative one, and it helps us to see contamination in our product. We test for pH. pH is very important. Depending on what the product is, we want different pHs. The water and the skincare, need to meet certain standards. We talked about the ORP. We test stability on all of our products at Asea. So our stability chamber at the top left of the pictures is what the exact model we have in the lab. And again, all the products go in there, and we monitor humidity and temperature to ensure that globally, no matter what country you're in, the product holds up. All the actives are fine over their life and in all environmental conditions.
Great.
So this is our product development lab. This is the lab I'm mostly in and that I monitored. I've been in here a lot lately. And there's a lot of coming and going. There are exciting things happening at Asea right now. In our lab, we have hundreds of botanical ingredients. They've come from Cell Performance, some other projects we're working on. Along with that, we have an extensive library of natural flavoring agents. Because as we were flavoring the Cell Performance line, we tinkered a lot. There was a lot that went into the flavoring. A lot of people around Asea or in the manufacturing building were used as our guinea pigs. So come over, to make some changes, go to someone and be like, hey, test this. How does this taste? And then we also have machinery in there to find the right delivery method. So we have an encapsulator. We can actually tablet the products, or keep it in a powder and sachet it. And then just real quick, the development from start to finish, when Asea comes up with new products, we actually talk to our marketing department, see what the need is out there right now, what people are interested in. And then all the scientists get together, we conceptualize, hey, what can we do? What kind of ingredients are hot right now? And then Asea is a science-based company, so we always go to the scientific literature. None of the products that were made are without that. I mean, every ingredient, every mechanism, every dosage, it all comes from studies and is substantiated. Then we vet hundreds of ingredients, which is where we got the hundreds of botanicals ingredients from. We substantiate, and then we start prototyping in the lab.
Awesome.
Cool. Wrap it up, Henry.
Well, I mean, it was a great session tonight. I always enjoy being here. I seriously just want to say thank you, Jim and Dr. Lee Osler, and everyone at Asea who drive this company forward. You guys are the heart of the company. If you don't do your jobs, and I don't have a job here, and it's just a happy marriage that I like to say we have. And in any way I can help you guys out, let me know. We're here for you.
Awesome. Thank you, Henry. Lee, go ahead and put your last comments, and we'll stop with that, and I'll share who we have on next week.
Well, we want to, as we end up here, just make sure everybody understands the disclaimer that we are a supplement company, as has been explained, and we don't make any medical claims or discuss or diagnose medical conditions. I'm excited to hear this. This was a little different Asea 5 discussion tonight, kind of a discussion with some presentation. And it's nice to kind of get a sneak peek, behind the curtain as to what's going on, and to see some of the processes that are at play that are producing and putting this out in front of us. So, and I appreciate their attention to detail, and especially their attempt to synergize and make this all work together. I tell everybody that I talk with is that we are not a network marketing company. That's just the distribution model. This is a cellular health company, and I appreciate that focus on the vision of staying true to that, because if that doesn't work, then everything else is going to fall apart. So hopefully in that marriage that Henry's talking about, those who are watching this from wherever you're at around the world, we do our part in sharing these products and this science with other people so that they can improve their cellular health. And we're just grateful that Asea is there and it has our back in that process. So thank you, Henry and Becca and Dr. Andrea, for coming on. I appreciate standing next to Jim and Ann tonight. And next week we'll certainly I hope we have Dr. Marine back with us as well.
Sure, we will. So I was just going to add, for people that are new tonight and learning about these, there's a great video I know Alan Nova put out about Cell Performance to use to promote this to people. There's also the multi-pack you can order to where you can get a sampling of all three. I love that they put, 10 of each in one box. You can either order that or try it through your loyalty reward points. But certainly, if you have not tried it, with the background I have in nutrition, I am amazed at how these ingredients work, how they're natural, and the results have just been outstanding. And so many stories are out there. So definitely try it. They're $1.67 a sleeve, so you're not going to find anything on the market that is safe and so affordable, and you're just mixing it in your 10-12 ounces of water. So we'll be excited to hear some new stories as more of y'all try it. We love all three for sure.
So that video that Ian was talking about is on amazingmolecules.com.
Yep.
Again, amazingmolecules.com. Actually, I think, Henry, you're on there with Alan down to one of the videos towards the bottom. Get back to the person that got you on this call, and get on the stuff. Just see what your life will happen when you give your body what your body needs. Redox, like you said last time, Henry, affects every cell. Then cell performance and the nutritional, the cell performance targets then certain pathways that give us mind, mood, and energy boost there. So guys, what we have is a divine gift. We are developing more and more products. So guys, I can't thank you enough. Dr. Andrea, Becca, and then
Appreciate y'all.
Henry. It's important for the field, for the people out here to understand you guys have our back.
Yeah.
And that's one thing I love is that we can trust you guys. Because this stuff is way over my head.
They have the brains.
But I trust you three and then the corporate staff that we have, the executive level. I just can't tell you how much we appreciate you guys. So next week, we've got Dr. Foster Malmed and Dr. Aaron Kaufman.
They haven't been on in a while.
So we haven't seen them in a while. So we'll have fun with those guys. Not that we didn't have fun tonight. We always do. So guys, thank you so much. The video will be up on Redox Matters within about an hour or so. If you have any questions, get back to the person that brought you on the call. What's it going to hurt to try? Just get on the molecules.
Yep.
Guys, thank you. God
Thanks,
bless.
y'all. We
Thank you,
appreciate
everybody.
it.
Bye-bye.
Merry Christmas.
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.
See you soon.
Thank you. Bye-bye.